Good morning, everybody. For those out in the audience, please take your seats. The procession will be coming in a bit. Good morning. This is our first time ever where we're going to be doing a live color commentary of the procession as the students, the faculty, and the administration and our honorands walk through the campus and into Old Campus. This is the 317th commencement, and here with me is Penny Lawrence. Dr. Lawrence is a senior advisor to the university and the former head of Jonathan Edwards College. Penny, can you explain the history of the commencement and of Old Campus?
Sure. First, let me say good morning, Eileen. Good morning, everybody watching live stream and everybody on the Old Campus. We have an absolutely beautiful morning, just about perfect for commencement, I would say. Maybe a little too much sun in places, but other than that, a sparkling day. And we are sitting here on the Old Campus of the university, which is the oldest part of the university. Straight ahead of me, I can see Connecticut Hall, which is the oldest building on the university, 1701. And across from that, McClellan. And surrounding us here are all the freshman dormitories for 10 of the 14 colleges. So we're sitting there with Farnham and Lawrence and Durfee, and we always think it's fitting that the youngest people who come to Yale, some of the youngest, live on the oldest part of the campus. So actually, commencement started in a church, not surprisingly, and it moved then to Battelle Chapel when the numbers got too big for the original church. And then then it moved to Wolsey Hall, where it could hold the graduating seniors and the rest of the university. And finally, and at long last, it moved to the Old Campus when there came too many graduates to actually sit in the great old Wolsey Hall. So we're here today on the Old Campus. There are about 20,000 chairs here, between 18,000 and 20,000. We have 3,728 graduates. 1,360 of them are undergraduates. And then we have the graduates from all the professional schools and graduate schools of the university. So Yale has an undergraduate body, a graduate school of arts and sciences, and then it has 12 professional schools. There's art, architecture, music, drama, divinity, forestry and environmental studies, medicine, nursing, public health, engineering and applied sciences. And all of those schools, and business, I hope I said business and law, and all those schools are graduating this morning.
So we can see all of the graduates actually coming down towards the where the procession will actually walk through them, which
Yes.
is a long and historic tradition.
So what we're seeing now on the screen is, I believe it's Noah Porter Gate. And through that gate, eventually, will come the processions. And what will happen now is that the graduate schools are gathering on the cross campus, and in the residential colleges, deans and heads are lining up all their students, and they're processing them with their flags. We can see a college here. I can't see what it is. I think it may be Pauli Murray or Franklin, processing into the Old Campus. And eventually, all the graduates will be there. And ultimately, we'll see on screen the procession with the president and provost, the officers, the honorands, march through the members of the graduate schools of arts and sciences and the professional schools, And then the undergraduates will form a big chain around the New Haven Green.
Right, which the procession will go through. So what have the undergraduates been doing for the last couple of days, beyond celebrating, of course?
Yeah. So the undergraduates have had a long weekend. A lot of people arrived Friday. We're sorry out there if you're already exhausted. There's only a short time before you see your students actually get a degree. And they had a baccalaureate service, which goes back to the very initial beginnings of Yale, in which the president spoke and the dean made remarks. They heard some beautiful glee club in Woolsey Hall. Now the class is so big and so many visitors come to Yale to see it, that we actually have to do it in 3 installments.
Right.
So they had a wonderful baccalaureate service. This is the undergraduates. And then on Saturday morning, there was a Phi Beta Kappa ceremony. And following that, another baccalaureate. And then the president met all the undergraduates and the dean of Yale College at a reception and shook their hands and had a wonderful time with them.
But this is also a culmination of practically a whole year's worth of extra activities for the seniors. As a former head of college,
Yes.
Can you talk about what's that like to organize for them?
Well, on this weekend, a lot of the extracurricular groups that have seniors in them do special things, special performances. The Glee Club has a marvelous performance. The band sits out in the evening and does a wonderful performance. And by the way, everybody, to our left here, which I don't think you can see, is the band tent, and the entire band is sitting under there, or will be sitting under there. Right now they've gone to lead the procession, so that the procession will actually have music.
Right.
And besides,
I think we saw the tubas a few minutes ago on the
so
screen.
besides the band and the Glee Club, in addition to that, there's an absolutely fabulous undergraduate musical show, the Commencement musical. This year it was Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods. And the remarkable thing about this is that they basically put it up in 10 days. And I went to see it. I saw it on Friday night, and it's virtually a professional show. So we had an absolutely wonderful time watching that. And the Whiffin' Poofs and Women Rhythm had a concert, and all over the campus, seniors are showing off their whatever it is they're involved in. At the same time, by the way, we had the men's lacrosse team
Yes.
winning against Loyola, and they are now going next week to the national championship, to the playoff for
the
the
Final
national
Four.
championship.
Yay.
Yeah.
So Penny, too, yesterday was a very special day. It was class day, and I think you're going to see in the crowd still a lot of wacky hats, but the hats really came out yesterday.
Yes, you can see them online. It is a tradition at Yale, and no one knows where it started, that the undergraduates at class day wear hats. And if you look online, you can see a wide array of beautiful, funny, amusing hats. They're worn by all the undergraduates and also by all the deans and all the heads of colleges, and they really are hilarious. I think we should say at the same time that we're not just concentrating on undergraduates here.
Right, exactly.
Because in the great graduate and professional schools, many different things are going on over the weekend. People are celebrating in many different ways, and there are thousands of friends and family here from these great graduate and professional schools who are here to see their children graduate.
So just so that people know, too, as the ceremonies begin, we won't be doing the commentary at that point, but so what can they expect? I mean, each student is not going to go across the stage.
No. So
that would be really long.
Right. So Yale's commencement ceremony itself, the one that takes place here on the old campus, is very formal and ritualized. It's one of the most formal celebratory events of the year. It's very choreographed. And the first thing that you'll see that really begins the celebration will be flags coming down this middle aisle here. Oh, now we're looking at Phelps Gate. This is where the procession will enter The undergraduates, after they march around the green, will enter from here, Phelps Gate. And I see some of the many people at work on commit. It takes a gigantic team to make this happen. And a lot of the marshals and the people who run this are people who have for years and years been involved in the commencement procession. So we're seeing you, members of the audience, and at home you can see members of the audience, and we're seeing the big gateway where eventually the procession will come in.
The procession will also have, each of the undergraduate college has a lot of symbolism. They have shields that, what does each shield represent?
Well, just to tell you, Yale has a tremendous number of shields and flags that you will see. And that is because it had somebody, a professor of art history, called a pursuivant of arms, Teddy Sizer. And he actually created many of the shields and flags you will see today. That's a long history of heraldry. And of course, every school has certain flags and banners and things that they use to symbolize or represent the institution. But Yale has a tremendous number of them. And that's because we did have a pursuivant of arms, and he began creating some of these amazing flags that you will see.
And so on the coat of arms, at least for the residential colleges, there's now 14, and the last two actually were designed by John Gamble, who was the university printer. And I think what the iconography on these shields is really, you think a lot about it because it represents the name of the college and the history of the person for whom that college is named, which I think is also very, very special because a lot of it is about their careers and their lives, which is meant to inspire the students who live there. Very shortly, the procession is about to step off from where Sterling Library, where the honorands and the administration and officers and the corporation, or what we call the corporation, or the board of trustees, have all been getting on their academic robes, and they will very shortly step out from Sterling Memorial Library. So Jonathan Edwards Shield, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the flag of Jonathan Edwards, which was the residential college of which I was head, has a lion rampant on it. And that is part of the history of Jonathan Edwards' own family. As you said, they take symbolism from the name of the head of college and try to use it. So when you see a big green dragon or lion rampant on a flag, I will be cheering because that will be my college. Every college has that flag and a color, but we should also say all the graduate schools also have marvelous flags and marvelous insignia, heraldry. And so often when you spot the flag, you can recognize who is entering the old campus.
And each of the schools also has a mace.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We're going to see a very big mace today that weighs 24 pounds. Each school and the undergraduate colleges appoint marshals. And these marshals are often people who are being honored in some way. The chief marshal will be an administrator of the school, or it's usually not the dean of the school. And there will be student marshals as well. And then there are procession marshals. There are marshals for marshals who are showing everybody where to go and who are honored by being allowed to carry these maces.
It is quite an honor. And 2 new maces were designed, in fact, just like 2 new shields for the 2 new residential colleges. Polly's Murray mace was designed by a Vermont-based master sculptor and a wood carver, Michelle Hofsefeld. And she chose a piece of wood from the property in Vermont, part of a small maple that had actually been strangled by a bittersweet vine. And when turned and polished, it looks like a narwhal tusk with a big turn. So it was the same shapes that appear in the chief of the new Polly Murray shield.
We also might want to talk about the robes. What are, in fact, all these robes that people are wearing? And how do you identify what school or what they represent. Well, the undergraduates all wear black gowns and white hoods, most white hoods and some yellow hoods, symbolizing the liberal arts. The white hoods symbolize the liberal arts. And the PhDs and the JDs and the people who have what we call terminal degrees, the graduates, wear robes the color of the institution from which they got the degree.
And yours?
So mine is red because, crimson really, because mine is a Harvard degree. But in fact, even though I've been at Yale for 45 years, I still have to wear the color of the school that awarded me the degree. Yeah. And you are wearing?
I am wearing the colors for Georgetown, and Georgetown, a law degree.
A Georgetown law. And by the way, you can identify what school is coming in not only by the flag, but by the colors that they're wearing. So as Eileen is wearing a purple hood from a law degree.
Yes.
And when you see people marching and you see all the purple hoods, you will know that they're from law. If they're green, they're from medicine. If they're gold, they're from science or engineering. If they're brown, they're either music or, no, not music, drama or architecture. If they're pink, they're music. So, if they're russet, they're forestry. Management is sapphire blue. Nursing is apricot. Public health is a salmon pink. I don't know if I can really tell the differences between the shades of salmon and pink. But I think when you see them marching on the campus in great numbers, you'll see that that makes a big difference.
So you can see the police and the colors standing
Now.
there, ready and waiting for the procession to step off from Sterling Memorial Library.
At the head of that procession there at Noah Porter Gate is Kate Creer. She's carrying something called the Yale. The Yale has a funny looking head on it, and it is supposed to represent a mythical or mystical beast. And here they go with the procession marshal Kate Creer leading the way with Alan Kasdan, a very, very important professor of psychology who's retiring this year. And here come the banners, the high stand banners, the university banners. And in back of that, Tom Duffy leading the Yale band. And they are heading towards the green, where they're going to stand around the green. And meanwhile, back of them, the procession with all the honorands and the president and the provost and the officers, they're all walking from Sterling Memorial Library and walking through the graduate schools there.
Right. And the people who are carrying the banners also received awards at Class Day ceremonies.
Now
yesterday.
here comes Jonathan Edwards College, my college. And Silliman is next to them, 2 colleges at a time. So you people at home who are looking for students, you're looking at Jonathan Edwards College and Silliman College. And Jonathan Edwards and the fellows are marching first.
So what are the noodles everyone's waving? Those are...
Well, every college sometimes orders special things. Jonathan Edwards actually has some green flags, you'll see. And everybody else in Silliman seems to have these noodles, which they will wave when they get into the old campus and when their degrees are announced.
We also have a new symbol for Grace Hopper College, because that was a renaming of what was formerly known as Calhoun College. And her shield, the shield for that college, is actually based on her work as a computer scientist and one of the pioneers of computer languages. So you're going to see circles and dashes represent the code on the back of her shield, as well as a fish, because she was an admiral in the Navy.
Now that Jonathan Edwards College is past, and the next 2 colleges we're seeing
is Brantford and
Trumbull.
Trumbull College.
Yep, Trumbull and Brantford. You see all the fellows. The fellows are faculty members and associates of the college who form a fellowship of the college. And faculty have the opportunity either to march with their own residential college, all faculty who wish to be or associated with a college, or they can march with their own school or with the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. So, yep, here come Trumbull.
And so in addition to the flags, that there are also, who else gets to hold the maces of each of the residential colleges? That's a special honor as well.
Yes, well, there is a mace held by the dean of each residential college, not the head, but the dean, who's the leader of the students, who has helped these students finish their degrees and seen to their academic and personal success. And they hold the college mace. And there are 2 students who are also marshals, and you will see them later because they will be the ones honored to come up on the stage, represent their classes, and actually receive the degrees from the president. They will symbolize the rest of the class.
And that's because they have the highest academic standing in their residential college.
Not always. It's people who certainly have good academic. They're chosen because they're leaders of their college in some way. There's also a banner bearer, and often the banner bearer is held by the high stand prize.
And the flags that we're seeing right now represent, let me see.
Well, we see Berkeley, I believe.
Right.
And is that TD next to them? Let me see who's there.
So as you can see, some of the students have also embellished their hats, particularly from that. It's the Pearson College has the suns on their hats. We'll have to ask some of the students what the symbol of that is. It's a pun, apparently, on the name Pearson.
These stoles that they're wearing have become a tradition or have become used by some colleges in the past few years. Technically, you're not supposed to wear these on your gowns, but one college, I won't mention which one, started it.
Is that yours?
It might be. And now a number of other colleges have picked it up. I'm waiting for the current pursuivant of arms at Yale to stop this tradition. It could happen.
But there's a lot of rules and regulations about the gown.
Yes.
Let's see, these two, Saybrook and Morse, are coming down, and there's Handsome Dan.
There is Handsome Dan, yes.
He was a puppy, actually. Well, he's slightly older than a puppy now. He's about 1.5 years old.
He's marching with his college. He's a Morse fellow. I see Catherine Panterbrick, who's the head of Morse, and all the Morse fellows are coming through.
And Handsome Dan is a mascot that actually Yale was the first university in the United States to adopt a mascot. The history of Handsome Dan dates back to 1889 when Andrew Graves, the class of 92, 1892 that is, a football player and rower during the days of Walter Camp, first named Yale's mascot. He became the mascot, and the Andrew Graves saw the dog sitting in front of a shop, and he purchased him from a New Haven blacksmith.
By the way, other stoles you see here are from the African American graduation the other night. I see some Native American stoles.
And these are from the cultural houses.
These are from the cultural houses, yes. Awards from the cultural houses or stoles from the cultural houses, from students involved. And let's see, some of these colleges are...
So here I think comes the Grace Hopper banner.
Yes.
Which, as alumni, you can go by either an alum of Calhoun or Grace Hopper. And with them, with the Grace Hopper, you can see that is Ezra Stiles. So you can see those dots and dashes, and you can see the fish on the Yale blue background.
So there go Julia Adams, the head of Hopper, and Steve Pitty, the head of Stiles, and all their students behind them. And I see that this year there are flags held. This is getting to be a tradition too, all different kinds of things that people wave. And by the way, when we see the graduate and professional schools, we'll see this year of forestry and environmental studies wears greenery on the top of their caps. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes the divinity school students wear halos. Uh, so there are lots of different things you'll see that people have added
And
to
then
the formal regalia.
Right, and the professional schools like the nursing school is also usually has some pretty unusual hats. So some of them will also carry a New Haven flag.
Yes. So the people who won the High Stand Awards yesterday, that is to say, the award for the highest average in the social science, the humanities, the sciences, extraordinary students in the arts. I always say, when you win one of these prizes, your award is that you get to carry a very heavy flag through a long, long procession.
Right.
And some of them are very heavy indeed. So,
a few statistics about the class. 15% of last year's graduating class of 2017, many of these will go on to similar careers, but the class of 2017, about 15% began graduate and professional schools immediately after graduation. Another 77% were employed. So many of these students already have their plans worked out for them. So the procession stepped off from Sterling Memorial Library, but Yale has actually it has 15 main libraries, which houses nearly 15 million print and electronic volumes, including 2 copies of the Gutenberg Bible and the Audubon's Birds of America. Those can be seen at the Beinecke Library, and so many of the people watching here in New Haven should hopefully go and see those. They really are wonderful.
yes, so they are still massing. Believe me, when they come, we will know that they are coming.
So that mace this is actually the Pauline Murray.
Yes.
And that is her flag. So as you could see, the gnarled piece of wood is something that was crafted from just one piece. And it's inscribed with some of her famous quotes. She was a civil rights activist. She fought for also the inclusion of women as well.
And is that Davenport on the other side? I think so. And that is Franklin. Franklin is then coming along.
And Benjamin Franklin, like the honorands today, received an honorary degree from Yale. And actually, some of the founders of Yale Franklin used to send books for those libraries back from Europe for the Yale Library.
Now, you know, we haven't really seen the graduate and professional schools yet, but we will be seeing them. And it takes a long time to get the 1,360 Yale undergraduates through, and I think they're just about through. By the way, the order changes of who marches first and who marches last.
Right.
So if a college marched first this year, they're going to march last next year.
Right.
So it isn't equitable to everybody in the college, but it's equitable to the colleges.
So some more fun facts actually are that students in this Yale College class of 2018 are from 50 different states and 53 foreign countries.
So every state is represented. That's
Exactly.
a point of pride, I think. And 53 countries. Yale is so international now and so much more heterogeneous in every way than when I came here 45 years ago. So it's tremendously vibrant. And people who are in the audience today have come from everywhere. Some their first trip to Yale, and we're so glad to be able to give them good weather to allow them to get a look at the campus.
Let's talk about some of the majors that these students have been studying.
Well, now we're seeing, for those at home, a picture of the old campus, and it's got thousands of chairs which are awaiting the graduates. So a good part of the commencement theater is actually taken up by the graduates.
And here a very famous toy was actually invented at Yale.
Yes.
The Frisbee. Yale College students decided to toss pie plates from the Frisbee Pie Company to each other and called Frisbee to warn passersby. The spelling was changed when Whammo became mass producing it. But who knew Yale invented the Frisbee?
We're seeing a picture here of Phelps Gate, waiting on the procession. The old campus, of course, is now heavily filling up with family. It may be a little hot in places, but I don't think we can complain very much about the weather.
No. Unfortunately, yesterday's class day had to be moved inside because we had predictions of lightning. So these events will go on whether it's raining or not, but lightning is just too unsafe. So we moved it inside, and of course the sun ended up coming out anyway.
Well, right now, everybody is gathering around the green. The undergraduates are making long lines around the green. And at Sterling Memorial Library, the procession is probably about to start.
I think they actually have
started
stepped off, yes.
They will be moving through the graduate schools who have moved up.
Right.
So they will be moving through, and eventually, when they go to the green, which is very symbolic, because what happens is the students march through the New Haven Green. It's a testimony to the founding of Yale, Yale based in New Haven, and the trustees and the honorands will march through them.
And the green is quite special because New Haven established these 9 squares, including the green. When it was first established, it was actually the first planned municipality in the United States, and it was established in 1638.
Yeah. Can we hear the music from afar?
You can.
Yes, of the band leading the corporation, the trustees, and the honorands.
We also have a lot of international students. So there's actually over 4,400 international students and scholars representing 118 countries at Yale. The Graduate School of Arts and Sciences has the highest proportion of those international students at about 35%.
Yeah, although I will say that Yale College is now very, very international, and it's 35%, I believe, minority, and it has a significant proportion of international students who all receive need-based aid, which is extraordinary. Only a number of colleges and universities are able to do that. And we feel so lucky that we're able to do that and to bring into a Yale College class and, of course, into the graduate and professional schools people from all around the world.
So the crowds here today between the students and families and actually number about 10,000, which is really incredible. It takes the community at Yale, the staff, and as you can see, all the cameras, and it's actually 10,000 for class day, and actually it doubles for commencement, 20,000 today.
Well,
but it takes weeks to set up all of the facilities that are needed to accommodate 20,000 people.
Yeah, there's a great team of facilities people without whom this could not happen, and a great team of people who make commencement happen. I will say, though, that depending on the speaker, class day has had as many as 18,000 people. It often has 17 or 18,000 people. Mm-hmm. And there are actually 18,000 chairs here today. So, of course, some of them are filled by undergraduates and graduate students and professional students, but the old campus does hold 18,000 chairs.
Right. So there's also a number of traditions occurred yesterday besides hats. There is a tradition of planting the class ivy, which was that actually was established in 1852, and when the first vine was placed near the wall of the old library, now Dwight Memorial Chapel. So students engraved the numbers of their class on a nearby stone.
Yes, so that is again an undergraduate thing, but
right.
The undergraduates, when they graduate, inscribe their class somewhere on the old campus, very often around Phelps Gate, which is where 2018 shows. And under it, they plant some ivy. That's symbolic, because of course we don't let ivy climb our buildings anymore. They destroy our buildings, but they symbolically plant ivy where it cannot climb the buildings.
Right,
and,
a little change.
Yeah.
In addition, this year is a great anniversary, the 100th anniversary of the admission of women at the medical school. And in 2019, is 50 years since the admission of women at Yale College. And it's also about 150 years ago that women were first admitted to the art school at Yale.
It's very interesting because 3 of the 4 leaders of Class Day yesterday were women, and 2 Class Day chairs for next year will be women. And with Hillary Clinton speaking yesterday, there was a vibrant feminist feel to it, shared by everybody, men and women alike.
And
And we're
an alum. She's an alum of Yale
She
Law.
is an alum of Yale Law School, yes. And we look forward next year, as you say, to the 50th anniversary of women admitted to Yale College,
Right.
and the 150th to women admitted somewhere at Yale. The art school very early on had several women. So this was, of course, much earlier than the undergraduate. And the law school, even before, in the 30s, I believe, had its first woman.
So the other, the arms of Yale actually have 6 different types of color, although everyone remembers the Yale blue. But there are actually other colors. You're also going to see a collar, a special robe that the president of Yale, President Peter Salovey, will be wearing in the procession. It's gold, silver, and also enamel. And it's there are 11 cloisons and champ-leave roundels. They bear the arms of the graduate school and the professional schools, and also 3 shields bearing the arms of the University and Yale College and the Great Seal of the United States.
So the president's robe itself is very simple and very, I'm told, very hard to put on. It has several layers of things that need to be adjusted and tied and put on, but essentially it's almost a Puritan robe. But then he wears this very expensive and beautiful piece of jewelry that you have just described with the names of the schools all around it and a big jewel in the middle. This is part of the celebration that the university does of its graduates and, of course, of itself, to mark a moment in which its graduates go off to lead and serve in the wider world. And by the way, the first graduation at Yale, 1702, when 4 students in Saybrook, before Yale had moved to New Haven, 4 students received MA degrees and MA honor and good degrees. So commencements are a very old tradition, have happened from time immemorial, and this one, of course, is the 317th.
Another fact about the president's, they call it the collar, but it's going to look like a necklace, really, is that from it is suspended a jewel that's composed of a pair of carved and polished glass medallions. And the gold mountings for the jewel are set also with cloison enamel plaques, which bear the Hebrew characters referring to the sacred lots of the Bible and the university's motto, Luxi Veritas.
Yeah.
It's
light and truth. And we see here on the old campus some faculty beginning to arrive. Now, who is it that you're going to see on this stage eventually?
well, so the people that we will see on the stage are actually also the deans and also the members of the board of trustees, as well as the officers of the university, administrators. There will be several speakers, but mostly it will be the deans that will come up and address the president, asking that he confer upon the students of that school their degrees.
Well, the first row will be the honorands.
Yes.
So you will be able to see the honorands very, very clearly in the first row. Some of the trustees will be in the second row. And then the deans of the schools, all the deans of the professional schools, all the heads of the residential colleges, all the deans of Yale College, and all of the officers of the university will all be sitting up here on this stage.
So step-off actually hasn't happened yet. That was a false alarm, but now.
Right.
But it is coming, and we will see, there you see Sharon Oster,
Sharon Oster is retiring from the School of Management, and she is one of the important marshals at this event. And pretty soon we should see the corporation marshal, who is Paul Fry. So Sharon was the dean of the School of Management for a number of years, and she, on her retirement, is being given the honor of carrying this important university mace.
And behind her is actually, with all of those cameras, is Michael Marsland, who's been the university photographer for 40 years. But he still comes back to photograph special events like this one.
And behind them, I can see the president, and I can see the officers, and some of the trustees are all there. The president is tipping his hat there, and you see that jewel he's wearing above his very simple but complicated robe. And there is Kim Goff-Cruz, the secretary of the university, I see. And Scott Strobel, the officers of the university, and there is Sharon carrying them.
So the mace is pretty interesting. It's a heavy ivory knob with a brass shield inset, and it bears the engraved inscription, Horace Andrews from class 1841. In that era, each class selected its bully or chief defender and supplied him with the appropriate weapon.
And I see Ben Pollock, the provost, walking with the president. Kim Goff-Cruz behind him.
Scott Strobel is
trying to spot the honorands here. Should we say a word about the honorands now?
So be on the lookout for Angela Bassett, who is receiving a Doctor of Fine Arts.
And there's Neil deGrasse Tyson, I see.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is the Doctor of Humane Letters. You should also see Elizabeth Alexander.
Oh, Elizabeth
there
Alexander, there she is.
Right in the middle. And she was a professor here at Yale, but she is receiving a Doctor of Letters.
And Rick Lifton, who was also a professor at Yale, is now the head of the Rockefeller Institute.
And he is receiving a Doctor of Medical Sciences.
Oh, there's Eve Rice from these are corporation members
and
former corporation members here.
We also have Willie Ruff, who just passed in the lower part of the screen, a long-time professor here. He's getting an honorary degree, Doctor of Music.
Oh,
there you see Marvin.
Here comes Yale College. This is Yale College with the Yale College flag. We see Dean Chun, the Dean of Yale College, the senior deans, Mark Schenker, Jane Edwards, there's Jeremiah Quinlan, the Dean of Admissions, Pam Schurmeister, and all the senior and assistant deans of Yale College are marching behind the corporation. The cultural deans, Eileen Galvez, I see there, and Juliana Yee, and now comes...
The School of Engineering and Applied Sciences is passing right now.
Yeah.
So some of the other honorands beside those we've mentioned. Franz de Waal is receiving a Doctor of Social Science. He's a biologist whose research has shed new light on the social behavior and cognitive abilities of non-human primates. Laura Mulvey is one of the great figures in the history of film theory. She's a professor of film at Birkbeck College, University of London. She's been very influential in developing the field of feminist film theory. She's inspired generations of scholars at Yale and around the world. You can also be on the lookout for Judea Pearl, who's receiving a Doctor of Engineering and Technology. He's a pioneer of cognitive computing, what we're hearing a lot about, artificial intelligence.
And on the left here, you see the School of Medicine wearing their green after Science and Engineering, and the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. On the right, I see, or no, that's Emily Bakemeyer, the provost maybe. Maybe it's not the graduate school yet, but on the left is certainly the School of Medicine.
You'll also see one of our honorands in clerical robes, although that'll probably be covered up. It's the Rowan Williams, who is the distinguished theologian.
Here's the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, yeah, on the right with their blue PhD.
They're going to be giving 703 degrees today.
And all of these schools will soon be entering here. soon as they get here, they will be entering here. And meanwhile, around the green are all the undergraduates. I think the people who are doing this make an effort to have families who are not here see every face going through Noah Porter Gate. It means so much to people when they can actually see their own students. They will get a very, very good view, of course.
So after the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, the law school will be coming through, School of Management. We saw the School of Medicine, the School of Music, School of Nursing, Public Health.
We haven't seen anybody enter here yet. Well, here we come. Here come some of the faculty are entering. I see Yasmina Bisarevich from the graduate school, the marshal, and they're now beginning to find their seats in the front here. The faculty are beginning to find their seats.
So the faculty marshals, that was Philip Bernstein, was for the architectural school. Mark Gibson was for the art school, and divinity was Chloe Starr. Drama was Victoria Nolan. Forestry and environmental studies, Julie Zimmerman.
I see the marshals from the graduate school. I see Ann Galen here, and they're all beginning to file in with other faculty.
So with the faculty, you can see the many colored robes and hoods that we talked about before.
I see blue robes from Yale. I see robes from Cornell. I see robes from Berkeley. I see robes from MIT. And as I said before, people are wearing robes that represent the schools from which they received their terminal degrees.
This is medicine coming in.
Here we see medicine, yes.
And you'll see the tassels on the hats. The gold represents PhD degrees. And those, the caps are black, as are the tassels for Bachelors of Arts and Bachelors of Science.
So on the screen, we're seeing the School of Medicine, while in the Commencement Theater, we're seeing filling in, beginning some of the marshals and some of the faculty from some of the schools.
There's a total of 168 degrees from the School of Medicine, and 104 are doctors of medicine today. 124.
So those are orange, I think.
Which engineering is orange,
yes.
Nursing is apricot, and
I can't tell whether that's
golden.
orange
it's
or
hard
apricot
to tell.
either, actually. But we definitely see the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences.
So the forestry hats are starting to come in, and they are always a hit.
Oh, here they come. Here they come.
The flowers, some of them have.
This is Forestry and Environmental Studies, and on their mortar boards, you're seeing all kinds of forestry, I would say.
And also marine life and animals.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like the nursing school coming
yes,
in
I
next,
believe it is.
with old-fashioned nursing caps on top of their hats.
And over here on our right, we can see that the School of Medicine is actually filing in. We're seeing...
Yeah, they are. School of Medicine.
Congratulations to all of you doctors. We're happy to see you.
So 124 new doctors. And so nursing, as we saw before, the nursing schools, the nursing students, there's to be 116 nursing degrees given out in the nursing school today.
I don't see them filing in yet.
I haven't seen them filing into yet.
It takes a long time to process and fill up this old campus. which we're lucky enough does hold 20,000 chairs, almost 20,000
So
chairs.
these are the law students, which you can see is the purple hood, which signifies a law degree.
If people watched yesterday and saw Hillary Clinton speak,
She had on
she
her
had
purple.
on her Yale degree, black robe with purple, with her purple hood, just as yours is. And we see the dean of the School of Medicine here is coming towards the
stage. She's not on
towards the
camera though.
stage.
Lots of whoops and cheers for the students as they come into all campus.
And we're seeing some science hoods in yellow and the law students in purple. And here come the flags.
Here comes the flags.
So enjoy commencement, everyone. We've loved being here with you. Have a great day.
To the students of the class of 2018, and their parents, families, and friends, welcome to the 317th commencement of Yale University. We gather to recognize the extraordinary accomplishments of all of you who have worked so hard to complete your programs of study. We salute your effort, your diligence, your talent, and your intellect. We also join you in expressing gratitude for all who have supported you in these endeavors. Your families and friends, your teachers, and other members of the Yale community. In keeping with the tradition of this occasion, I now call on the university chaplain to offer an invocation.
With deep gratitude to the Quinnipiac people for this land on which we stand, my beloved Yale family, I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer. Almighty and loving Creator, you are the force that lights the stars, the architect of every cell, the source of all truth. We stand in the dazzling beauty of this morning as many expressions of one living mystery, a mystery beyond all telling. As students of your handiwork, we have gathered here from throughout the earth with exquisite ambitions and have been blessed at this place of light and truth with the freedom to let them grow. Our God of all generations, you are the guardian of where we are going and who we are becoming. We who share this beautiful but aching world, we who look at the same sun and the same moon, are a people called to communal restoration. As we prepare to take leave of this place, may we exude an intelligence that is inspired by justice, guided by tenderness, moved by holiness, and always informed by love. From this moment on, fill our hearts with an imaginative daring, one that stirs us to become living, vibrant examples of shalom, of salam, of shanti, of peace.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for the bachelor's degrees in Yale College. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, 857 in number, and for the degree of Bachelor of Science, 422 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of Yale College and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the bachelor's degrees in Yale College as designated by the dean, and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Architecture. For the degree of Master of Architecture, 77 in number, and for the degree Master of Environmental Design, 2 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you by your official act to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in architecture and design as designated by the dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Art. For the degree of Master of Fine Arts, 59 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree in art as designated by the dean and admit you to all its rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Drama. For the certificate in drama, 5 in number. For the degree of Master of Fine Arts, 58 in number. And for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, 3 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the certificate and degrees in drama as designated by the dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for the degrees in the School of Music. For the Artist Diploma, 1 in number. For the degree of Master of Music, 71 in number. For the degree Master of Musical Arts, 32 in number. And for the degree Doctor of Musical Arts, 8 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the diploma and degrees in music as designated by the dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Nursing. For the degree of Master of Science in Nursing, 97 in number. And for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice, 14 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in nursing as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for the degrees in the School of Forestry and Environmental Studies. For the degree of Master of Forestry, 12 in number. For the degree of Master of Forest Science, 5 in number. For the degree of Master of Environmental Management, 112 in number. And for the degree of Master of Environmental Science, 24 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I ask you now by your official act to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in Forestry and Environmental Studies as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Management. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, 397 in number. For the degree of Master of Advanced Management, 62 in number. And for the degree of Master in Management Studies, 6 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you by your official act to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in management as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities. Right.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the Divinity School. For the degree of Master of Arts in Religion, 77 in number. For the degree of Master of Divinity, 49 in number. And for the degree of Master of Sacred Theology, 9 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in religion, divinity, and theology as designated by the Dean and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the law school. For the degree of Master of Studies in Law, 2 in number. For the degree of Juris Doctor, 208 in number. For the degree of Master of Laws, 23 in number. And for the degree of Doctor of the Science of Law, 3 in number. When they have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation, I shall ask you, by your official act, to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I shall confer upon you the degrees in the law school when designated by the dean, and shall then admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the graduate school. For the degree of Master of Science, 153 in number. For the degree of Master of Arts, 189 in number. For the degree of Master of Advanced Studies, 1 in number. And for the degree of Master of Philosophy, 132 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you by your official act to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degrees in the graduate school as designated by the dean, and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Public Health. For the degree of Master of Public Health, 139 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you by your official act to confer upon them this degree.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree in public health as designated by the dean, and admit you to all its rights and responsibilities.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present candidates for degrees in the School of Medicine. For the degree of Master of Medical Science, 37 in number, when they have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation, I shall ask you by your official act to confer upon them this degree. For the degree of Master of Health Science, 41 in number. For the degree of Doctor of Medicine, 124 in number. And for the certificate in global health, 3 in number. They have been recommended by the faculty of the school and approved by the corporation. I now ask you by your official act to confer upon them these degrees.
By the authority vested in me, I shall confer the degree in medical science and do confer upon you the certificate and degrees in health science, medicine, and global medicine as designated by the dean, and admit you to all their rights and responsibilities.
Praeses clarissime. Candidatos ad gradum philosophiae doctoris, Numero ducenti sexagente unus, tibi praesento. A facultate philosophiae artiumque et ab senatu academico illustri approbati sunt. Te, Domine, rogo ut eos ad hunc gradum admittas.
Secundum leges, moremque universitates nostrae, vos et gradum philosophiae doctoris admittum. Vobisque una cum hoc diplomate, iura illa atque dignitates, quae ad hunc honorem spectant confero, nunc studiis felicite absolutes, ego praeses universitates vos ex animo jubeo salvere et valere. We will now proceed to the awarding of honorary degrees. The 10 individuals we honor this morning serve as examples to you, our graduates, to encourage you to aspire to excellence and to value those elements of human character that they embody: creativity, curiosity, discipline, innovation, integrity, and a passion for social justice. Their presence here also honors you who graduate today and all of us who are here to salute you. I will now, as is customary, call upon the provost to present the candidates for honorary degrees.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present the candidates for honorary degrees. For the Doctor of Music, Willie Ruff, musician and scholar.
Willie Ruff, you have shared the wonders of music with the world, introducing new audiences to the transcendent power of jazz. You discovered the echoes of distant times and faraway places in this quintessential American art form. In your conservatory without walls, generations of young people have been inspired by jazz legends. Scholar, storyteller, and musician, in gratitude for your creativity and charisma, we are privileged to present your third Yale degree, Doctor of Music.
For the degree of Doctor of Humanities, Laura Mulvey, theorist and filmmaker.
Laura Mulvey, your path-breaking theories of film have given us new ways to examine our culture and ourselves. Crossing boundaries and weaving disciplines, you showed us the male gaze and opened fresh territory in the study of gender, media, and society. As a filmmaker, you have defied conventions and produced daring works of art. Scholar, artisan, teacher, and feminist, we are honored to present you with this Doctor of Humanities degree.
For the degree of Doctor of Medical Sciences, Richard Lifton, physician and scientist.
Richard Lifton, your research has improved countless lives. You have advanced our understanding of the genetics of disease, accelerating the pace of discovery at our university and beyond. Your findings have led to better treatment and prevention for millions of patients with hypertension. Research pioneer and gifted scientist, in recognition of your trailblazing contributions to human health, we proudly bestow on you this Doctor of Medical Sciences degree.
For the degree of Doctor of Letters, Elizabeth Alexander, writer and educator.
Elizabeth Alexander, your words are radiant, illuminating our world anew. From Cape Town to London, from Harlem to this nation's capital, your verse and prose circle the globe, exploring family, intimacy, loss, and struggle. And you have said it plain in front of millions, elevating the human voice in history. Generous teacher, brave artist, in praise for your songs of hope and truth, we are honored to present you with your third Yale degree, Doctor of Letters.
For the degree of Doctor of Divinity, Rowan Williams, theologian.
Rowan Williams, with wisdom and humility, you nurture dialogue and understanding in our fragile world. From the pages of ancient scriptures and in daily communion with the human family, you seek answers to life's great mysteries, and you live your faith in service to others, reminding us to love and care for our neighbors, especially the most vulnerable among us. Voice of hope, scholar of light and truth, we are humbled to present you with this Doctor of Divinity degree.
For the degree of Doctor of Engineering and Technology, Judea Pearl, Computer Scientist.
Judea Pearl, your discoveries have extended the frontiers of human knowledge. With elegant equations and imaginative models, you have transformed our understanding of cause and effect, probability, and uncertainty. Your insights unlock complex puzzles while opening new areas for exploration. Marvelous mathematician, fearless innovator, in appreciation for all that your work has made possible, we are privileged to bestow on you this Doctor of Engineering and Technology degree.
For the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, you have led us on journeys through interstellar space, helping us comprehend the complexity of the cosmos. With you, we have explored the wonders of the known world and been humbled by what is yet unknown. No question is too vast, no problem too intricate for your curiosity. Bright star in humanity's sky, for showing us how science can explain the splendors of our universe and enlighten our minds. We are honored to bestow on you this Doctor of Humane Letters degree.
For the degree of Doctor of Letters, Marilyn Robinson, novelist and essayist.
Marilyn Robinson, in routine chores and lovely rituals, in the richness of the past and in living miracles, you evoke all the beauty and devastation of our mortal world. With concern for the common good and alert to the great unfilled promise of democracy, your essays and novels have led us to new understandings of ourselves, sacred, profane, and full of grace as we are. In gratitude for your lifetime of creation, we proudly confer on you this Doctor of Letters degree.
For the degree of Doctor of Social Science, Frans de Waal, biologist and primatologist.
Frans de Waal, with empathy and imagination, you challenge our understanding of the animal kingdom and our place in it. Among chimpanzees and bonobos, you have discovered compassion, generosity, and intelligence, diminishing the divide between humans and our primate relatives. Scientist and interpreter, for helping us see a greater capacity for kindness and cooperation in our world and in ourselves, we are privileged to present you with this Doctor of Social Science degree.
And for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, Angela Evelyn Bassett, actress.
Angela Bassett, chameleon of film, television, and stage, you have brought American icons from Tina Turner to Coretta Scott King to life, and in the process, become an icon yourself. As mother to Trey Styles, Christopher Wallace, T'Challa, and the Jackson 5, as a stockbroker, a housekeeper, and a queen, you have inspired us and challenged us. Actress of range and power, in recognition of your superb talent, Yale is privileged to present you with your third Yale degree, Doctor of Fine Arts. Thank you, Mr. Provost. Great job, as always. Try the other one here.
Gracious God, you who are beyond us, yet within us, who are imperceptible, yet known to us, who are other, but are part of us. May these graduates see the divine in all. May they have the creativity to overturn entrenched injustices and the magnanimity of heart to forgive. May they see what others have examined but not perceived. May they imagine what has not been dreamed and heal the incurable. Thank you for every graduate and their family, for this orb that we inhabit, and for this home that we know as Yale. Amen.